What's up, everybody? Good late afternoon or early evening for some of you. We're getting to this a little bit late today, later than I usually do it, but just wasn't really able to make time for this until now. So we got Snap Count Monday. We're going to take a look at the snap counts from Thursday's game against the 49ers. Obviously, this is kind of, again, it's almost like that thing I said in the post game where you're talking about the scientific phenomenon of a hurricane to a person whose house just got destroyed by one. Like, who cares? It doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and go through the motions here of at least pretending to care about this stuff. And maybe we'll learn something on the way, I figure, right? Like, I always do this. I shouldn't stop just because the results were so bad. So, offensive snap counts are as follows. We had 56 total snaps. 56, not a very good number, one of the lower numbers this year. We've had a couple games where it was lower than that. I don't know if that's really a good thing or not, but 56 snaps. Um, I'll say this, that does kind of indicate, given how worthless the offense was, they were able to actually sustain a couple of extended drives. They were. And I know that sounds like a backhanded compliment, and it is, but compared to some other games this year, they actually were able to find some non-trivial amounts of success. So, looking for silver linings, I guess that's kind of one. But running back snaps were really simple. Charbonnet had 49, basically everything. DJ Dallas had 7, and immediately my first grievance is highlighted. You've got this game where you don't have your lead running back. You're looking for some kind of spark on offense. The offense has been not very good in most of the most recent games. They were good against Washington, and that's it. And you've got Kenny McIntosh active for the first time this season, and you don't have a single play for him. You can't get him on the field once. Forget getting him the ball, get him on the field. Are you so in love with having Charbonnet play almost every snap and having Dallas pick up whatever little bit is left over that you can't find one snap for Kenny McIntosh? Like, it's things like this that just. It's like the stuff that doesn't really matter that much in the grand scheme of things, but it just highlights how dumb this team can be sometimes. And it just really reminds you of the big problems we have with this organization right now. Like, this should be. It should be simple to find a snap or two for McIntosh. All right. Wide receivers now. Once again, the Seahawks went very wide receiver heavy in this game. Metcalf had 48 snaps, so most of the game. Lockett had almost every snap, 53. JSN had 42, so that's like 75% of the game. So the Seahawks basically lived in wide receiver heavy sets. Bobo had 12 snaps, and Eskridge had 1 snap. So again, when in doubt, this team is hitting the 3 receiver sets pretty hard. And I don't have a personal problem with 3 receiver sets, but this team does. They're not very good at them, so I don't understand what the marriage is here with this particular usage of personnel. Because you go down, you look at the tight ends, and Will Disley, once again, like, is he even on this team anymore? 15 snaps is nothing. It's like this team only uses their tight ends when the 3 receiver sets are actually successful enough to keep the offense on the field for long enough for them to get into that part of the playbook. It should be the other way around. They should be looking to use a lot of tight ends early to try to get drives going so later on they can get receiver heavy sets on the field. Like, Noah Fant plays a little more than half the game. Okay, that's pretty much in line with expectations, 33 of 56. But like I said, Disley gets 15 and Parkinson gets 20. That's so little compared to where it should be. Like, look at week 2. Probably the best game this offense has played all season, at least up there, right? The offense was really good in week 2 against the Lions, and you had a very even snap distribution of all three of your tight ends getting on the field basically an equal amount, right around half the game. So the fact that you regress into a tight end free offense when things are going bad is just so backwards to me. And this is me speaking very generally, obviously, but you guys can kind of see the trend here. We have to actually run a lot of plays to get to the plays where the tight ends are out there, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Offensive line was very simple. All the starters played every snap except for Peters. Peters got hurt after 16 snaps. He came out. Peters being 41 years old, that injury might knock him out the whole season. I don't know. It's not really my concern at this point because Lucas is about to come back. And Peters was a very limited player anyway. Forsyth, 40 snaps. He took the other 40 at right tackle and played poorly, just like Peters was playing poorly. But yeah, that's how we divvied up snaps. Okay. Now we're going over to the defensive side of the ball. What do we got on defense? 66 snaps. Actually, not that bad. Like, it's bad, but felt like worse. We only had 10 more snaps on defense than we did on offense. That's not awful. I mean, again, it's bad, but compared to some of the other games we've had this year, it was downright tame. But how are we using those 66 snaps? I mean, it's basically this team utilizes 3 defensive linemen. This team utilizes 3 defensive linemen, and then Mario Edwards scoops up whatever little bit is left over because guys get exhausted every now and then. And one of the defensive linemen you utilize is Dre'Mont Jones, who is now playing a lot at edge. So it's almost like you've got 2 defensive linemen that play almost every snap, and then Mario Edwards comes in when somebody's about to die of exhaustion. Jarran Reed gets 59 snaps in a game. 59 snaps. Leonard Williams gets 57. Like, you had a whole... I understand that there are a couple of injuries, but you had a whole offseason to build some kind of quality depth in the defensive line, and this is what you're doing when your season's on the line at home on Thanksgiving? You're basically rotating 4 different guys in and out. One of the guys barely plays. One of the guys plays a lot of snaps at edge. I haven't seen the distribution on PFF yet, but I'm guessing Dre'Mont Jones played a lot of snaps at edge. So, and you had the whole draft, and you had all of free agency to build depth on the defensive line. And here we are a little past the halfway point, and look at this. Like, this is disgusting. This is awful. Jarran Reed shouldn't be playing 59 snaps in a game ever. No wonder he's not playing well lately. You wore him out. Just like you wore Bobby Wagner out. So, not happy about this. Not happy about where this has gone at all. I know Mike Morris got hurt. Mike Morris was a 5th round rookie anyway. Like, he wasn't going to come in and change the world. He wasn't going to come in and save you single-handedly. Speaking of Bobby Wagner, linebackers, simple. Bobby played every snap. Jordan Brooks played almost every snap, 58. So really simple stuff there. Nothing to report. They continue to do basically the same things they do. If anything, Brooks has become an even bigger part of this defense than he was earlier, which, I mean, Brooks played a pretty good game. He made the biggest play of the game for the Seahawks team. And overall this season, I think he's playing much better than previous seasons. So I don't have a big problem with it. But this is not exactly the creativity I was hoping for this year. I got to be perfectly honest with you. Edge rusher. Once again, it's now remember Dre'Mont Jones plays a lot at edge, but you've got Dre'Mont Jones playing whatever he gets at edge. Then you've got Boye Mafe playing 55 snaps, which, look, the Nwosu injury kind of forces our hand here. It's still a lot of snaps for one game, and it does indicate a problem with our depth. And then the other 2 edges just don't play that much at all. Darrell Taylor, 23, Derek Hall, 16, complete afterthought on this team. Frank Clark was inactive, of course. Tyreek Smith was well, he never got called up. And Levi Bell's now on injured reserve, so his season's over before he can even play. So there's just a real lack of balance here all of a sudden. We're not doing a good job distributing out snaps. And again, I'm not blaming the team so much because this is a result of the Nwosu injury, but can you do a little bit better than Mafe playing almost every snap and then you just give whatever little bit is left over to Taylor and Hall? That seems like you could do a better job than that. You could. Cornerback, Woolen played 26 snaps before getting injured. Witherspoon played the whole game. And Jackson played every snap that Woolen got benched for, which was 40. Trey Brown only gets 14 snaps in this game. Again, I think it's matchup dependent. And in this game, we just didn't put Trey Brown on the field very much. We didn't go nickel that much, which makes sense against a team like the Niners that doesn't go super deep at receiver. So that's going to happen. Makes sense to me. And at safety, Adams plays every snap, Diggs plays every snap, and Julian Love plays practically every snap. Which, again, when Trey Brown doesn't play a lot, Love's going to play a lot because this team doesn't really have the ability to actually play a true 3-4. So if they're not going to go three corners, they're going to go three safeties. Just kind of makes sense. So that stuff's all well and good, but there is a lot of stuff here that is starting to frustrate. And I think that people are starting to really notice this stuff. Obviously, the big stuff early season was JSN and how much he was playing compared to the tight ends, but now it's starting to spill over into these other things. All right, I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. More videos coming later tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch later tonight. I'm going to do a lot of Doom, but yeah, Snap Count Monday, not looking too great in my estimation. What do you think, though?